lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name is Ryan, and today I'm going to be going through Arthur Adams' Monkeyman and O'Brien collection. But before I get into it, just want to remind everybody, if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and check out all the awesome content we have on the channel. We are a daily video YouTube channel, so we are putting out all sorts of stuff, whether it's art, books, interviews, indie creator spotlights, going through collections, going through single issues, got it all here. So hit that subscribe button and hope you dig the channel. Now let's get into this. So this is a book that had been on my radar for, as long as I can remember. I probably first discovered this, honestly, going through Wizard magazine. But, I knew of Arthur Adams. He doesn't have a ton of interior work. He's done, the Long Shot miniseries. He did those annuals, those X-Men annuals that are phenomenal. Now that I think about it, it's either Wizard or it's through Hellboy. Because Hellboy was something that, I'm a huge fan of Mike Mignola and the Hellboy book and the entire Mignola verse. These started out as backup stories in some of those Hellboy comic books. So it took me a long time to get here, but I'm here. And I gotta say, this is one of the most fun reading experiences I've had in a while. Just pure fun comic books. And, it's written and illustrated by Arthur Adams and Laura Allred, Matt Hollingsworth on colors. Two of the best colorists to ever do it. So, and I like that it kind of riffs off a little bit of, this is kind of like your Mole Man. He's called the Shrumanoid. He wears his influences on his sleeves here, man. It's clear what he was into, right? Like, definitely into monsters, definitely into, the early Kirby stuff. And I love these titles. Even the title page right here of the breakdown of chapters, the lettering here, it's not just your typical lettering, right? Each one has its own kind of flair to it. We get a little forward from none other than Walter Simonson, another one of the greats to ever do it. He gives such a glowing kind of review of what we're about to partake in. Now, what's interesting too is I believe, if I'm wrong, you guys can comment in comments below, but this Monkeyman O'Brien special collects all of the shorts that took place as backup features. So this is going to be, the origin, and that's why it says, presented for the first time. But, the subsequent 3-issue miniseries actually came out after this. So we're going to learn the origin of Monkeyman and O'Brien, which, super cool. San Francisco. We get none other than Anne O'Brien, who is the daughter of, the Professor O'Brien, who mysteriously disappeared 2 years ago. And we meet, rounding out the supporting cast. We got Akiko, who's Anne's close friend. And then we also have Oniko O'Brien, who is her older sister. She's come back and she's basically trying to take over the entire, family business. Great little, I love this dynamic. She's obviously the younger sister. You can see, just in terms of, how her older sister towers over her. They get into a fight, and in this fight, Oniko throws Anne back. She hits some sort of button on the machinery, and now you can see in the background, life form search working. So the machine is working in the background, and I love this punch she throws. They go back and forth at it, and in this, we see that the machine has caused a rift in the space-time continuum. And so what's going to happen, we see everything's kind of going white, all this energy coming from this machine. Through it all, we see, not only do we see this, looks like kind of a severed gorilla head, with the top half of the, body, but we see this other creature, which obviously we will come to know as Monkeyman. Like I said, these are breaks. These are little chapters in that took place as backup features, but they're so great little snippets of the story. And we lead in, we see everybody's been affected by this. Older sister Okiko, her handlers are going to take her out, but in doing so, they also take this albino gorilla head with them. Some energy has kind of washed over them because you can see they've been affected by something that's happened. They're like, you can't leave. Nico says, you can't leave. You got to call the police and ambulance, and she gets knocked out. She wakes up to Anne kind of not knowing what happened, and then they take the helmet off, and we see it's none other than a giant gorilla who's speaking some other language. They have no idea what it is. From here, we can see that he's obviously smart. He is looking for something. He's angry. He's upset. You can see it all over his face. And Anne kind of takes him under her wing and brings him into the house, brings him into the library, because now she's going to say, like, basically going to see if maybe he can learn from these books, and shows him some of these books. He kind of looks at it, doesn't really know, but then he gets his smile when he's looking at a children's book. So this is basically how he's going to learn to read. And we see that he busts out his glasses and he's sitting there, he's getting comfortable. And some time passes, I think about a month. He has now learned English and he's able to communicate with Anne, introduces himself as Axel Tiberius, but also what has happened is Anne has noticed that her eyes are orange and she's grown in size, and now she also has been affected by some of the energy that was released during that time, and she's faster, stronger, more energetic. And she realizes one day when she goes running that she accidentally runs over 60 miles in half an hour. So now we are going to see the team up of none other than Monkeyman and O'Brien, who he doesn't like to go by Monkeyman, but that's the name of the book. So we see them team up. They go to rebuild her father's machine so that Monkeyman can hopefully find his way back home. And as we end the last of the backup stories, we see the Shroomonoid make his way through the streets of San Francisco. So kind of reminiscent, like I said, of Mole Man. And then we get the next 3 issues of them fighting against different monsters. And it's just such a fun series of stories. I love Art Adams' art. I think his writing is really good too. I mean, I haven't read any of his work besides this. I've only read books that he's illustrated, but not that he's written himself. So I kind of wish there were more. I know that there's a Gen 13 and Monkeyman and O'Brien, but I don't have as deep of a knowledge of all Monkeyman and O'Brien stuff. I just knew that there was this miniseries, so I'm excited to kind of see what else comes from this. And I love this. We learn who is Shroomonoid and how did he get to be this way. And it's not through what they think. At first they think maybe it's the energy that was released when Monkeyman came through, but it's not. It's something else. And get the backstory of him, which is kind of funny. I won't spoil it because I went into this having no knowledge other than just the characters and what they looked like. I think it's a lot more fun that way. So we see, obviously, the sister has also she has orange eyes as well. Her strength has grown also, and she's experimenting on this albino gorilla head. And this backstory of Shroomonoid too, he gets remade, but not into something that I would consider better. He looks like an ugly monster dude, right? And so he ends up kind of wanting to marry Anne, he's kind of infatuated with her. Monkeyman lies and says he's going to help him activate the generator, destroy the city, but that's not what happens. They use it as a way to throw Shroomonoid in through there, and he is now transported into this other realm. And then as we end, what happens? But we get the Froglodites, and now this is going to be the next adversaries or the next problem that Monkeyman and O'Brien will take care of. They make this they have this press conference because they have to say what happened over here with Shroomonoid, and people are kind of like, oh, so you just killed him, you just let him go. He explains, well, it's this infinite boundary zone that separates all the various dimensions, and it seemed that, that was the safest bet. What else were they going to do? And I just think it's funny because, this is probably what would happen. Everybody's, trying to cancel them for saving them. When in reality, what else were they to do? And Anne gets obviously pissed. The lawyer's like, hey, let me handle this. Be quiet. And, just a lot of humor. I love these Froglodite, the design of them. They're coming down to Earth. And they're trying to explore what this unknown breach was from the terminus from the two realities. Their homeworld's overpopulated, so they need to seek out some new swamps and unexplored ponds so that their young might flourish. Obviously, we're going to have Monkeyman and O'Brien. They're going to take care of business. I wish we got more Art Adams. I love his art so much, and his storytelling is he's got a knack for it. He's got humor. He's got action. The stakes are real for these characters, and we're going to end, and now we're going to go into the Terminus, and we see Shumanoid is there, and this dude Lord Quash is going to come after them. We see that, you know, Monkey Man has taken on some of the tech from the Froglotites, made a spaceship that can travel into the Terminus, and so they're going to go explore there and try to bring Shumanoid back since everybody's hating on them for leaving him. Then we get some really cool moments here. This dude I love the way this dude is drawn. Again, really good design. I really like his character design. I think that whether it's, you know, this technology he designs or the creatures and the characters, just super fun. And I won't get, you know, gonna have a resolution here, and it's to be continued. So like I said, I don't know what came next. I'm definitely excited to check that out. I really love this look at Artem's sketchbook, and he explains, you know, a little bit of the idea behind this, the character designs, what he was originally going to call them. Got some of his thumbnails, more character design work, and then we got How to Draw Comics the Art Adams Way. I don't know where this first premiered. This is from '91, so this precedes the actual backup stories for Monkeyman and O'Brien, but pretty cool. If you haven't picked up this book, I highly recommend it. It was such a blast to read. I'm definitely going to be seeking out the rest of Monkeyman and O'Brien. Anything I can pick up, I will be getting. So, hope you dug that video. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, I'm out.